Good evening. Tonight I'm going to be broadcasting from my little cottage by the sea in the south of France. We're going to be looking at some illustrious people, and I can show you about my favorite place and my favorite observatory with a telescope and the beautiful view from my balcony. I can see anything, including the placement of the stars. And I think there's a comet tonight. Tonight, we're going to be looking at the charmed life of Princess Grace, Her Highness, Serene Highness of Monaco. The reason I like this chart so much is it is almost an ideal chart. And indeed, her life was a fairy tale, something that everybody needed after World War II. And she came along in the mid-50s. So everybody was recuperating. An American needed this. She was an American princess. And so did the people of the beautiful little kingdom of Monaco. As a student of astrology, you learn to understand the challenges that you came in with. But what's it like to be not too challenged? What's it like to be, say, individuals that win the lottery, have miraculous healings, and become princesses? How does that happen? And is it meant to be? Is it a good thing? Is it a good thing not to have challenges? That's always the question, because they do make you stronger. Princess Grace came in, actually she was a Serene Princess of Monaco, but she came in as a double Scorpio. If you're a student of astrology or just even a student of life, you have gotten a feeling for the secret life of Scorpios. Scorpios, you never can know what they're thinking, and they don't even know what they're thinking. But the one thing that you can know about Scorpios is it's all about me. They love psychology and looking within and delving within. That's one of their main traits. They are ruled by Pluto. You can see Pluto up here. God is the underworld. And Pluto was known about by pre-Egyptian times, even though they didn't, according to what we know, have the ability to see that far to the edges of the solar system. Still, they were known about and written about in mythology. And they're right. Pluto is the god of the underworld, and he rules earthquakes, volcanoes. It was very interesting what Alfred Hitchcock said about Grace. She was the ice queen of Hollywood. She was cool, collected. Alfred Hitchcock said when she walked in the room, she always came in at the right time, wearing the right thing, saying the right thing, or not saying the right thing. So she had that kind of timing. Interesting to note that Venus and Mercury are kind of together. They're linked by the ascendant. The ascendant is at the midpoint of these two planets, and midpoints are very interesting and very powerful. But the most important thing, this particular aspect gives you a love. There's Venus for words. How does that work out? Math, and most certainly lovely words, and to be able to remember them. So if you like lovely words, you're going to like poetry, aren't you? She was quite the poet and appreciated the beauty of the written word. Most powerful in her chart which is astounding, is her grand trine. It just doesn't happen very often. You have the sun at 19. 19 is a lucky degree. Like she didn't have enough luck. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 is supposed to be a perfect number. And here we are, 19. Pluto is at 19. And then when you come down to the moon, it's at 21 degrees. And 21's a lucky number too. That is the world. And the world is yours. It's good to look at the degrees. The other astounding thing in her chart is her rising sign. She's a double Scorpio. If you're a student of astrology, think twice before you have a Scorpio in your life if you have a choice. The ruler of the first house, the most important, this is the ascendant, that's what you hear about, is in the 9th house. You see all the houses are numbers and they're places where we live. And they go around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9th house is a house of foreign lands, if not foreign affairs. The native will end up, especially if the ruler of the ascendant is in the 9th house, you'll end up living in a foreign land. It'll play very heavily in your life. So it's just a destiny thing. And if you don't end up in a foreign land, you'll marry somebody of a foreign culture and relate to that culture very much. So, and travel, lots of travel, indeed. So you have a grand trine, and that's 120 degrees up here, all the way down to the moon. And guess what? The moon is trine the sun. It's just all water. This is a water lady. That's emotions. Water is emotions. So, and she needed grounding. She needed to take off her shoes and walk around in the dirt because there's no grounding here. There's no stability. But the water, she had to have been insanely intuitive, because water is the intuitive sign. So here we have this grand trine, and I'm going to show it to you in another setup that might make it clearer.